Sorry if you don't into that.
What?
Killing other animals.
Here we go, right? People think like, I've been vegan since like 1999, right? And my whole reason for that was for my own health. You check it? Now, if you kill that animal and the spirit of that animal give you a heart attack or some shit, then that's on you, you know? And it's like, yo, I wear leather shoes. You check it? So, like, most people call themselves vegan, ain't even vegan like that because you wear leather shoes. You know what I mean? You got leather in your car. Vegan, you ain't even supposed to, for real, you're not supposed to kill an ant. You can't even have pest control properly in your house if you're for real vegan, you know? So I remember when vegetarian used to be vegan.
Fact.
You remember that? When vegetarian meant you only ate plants.
I remember when vegan wasn't even a thing. I didn't even know
vegan was
a thing.
They came around 999.
I didn't even know vegan was an occupation.
Vegetarian actually meant like, yo, you only eat vegetables. That's it. You know what I mean? And then they just switched that up. Well, I'm a pescatarian. Well, I'm an ovaltarian. Well, I'm a boop-boop-boop-tarian. You know what I mean? Well, I'm a vegan, but I just eat meat every Thursday. Whatever, you know? So it's like, okay, but then you see within that, you following the trend and you see like, it's a marketing thing. You know?
You think so? Like vegans
man.
are like holier than thou?
Not even that. It's like, yo, from you in it for X amount of times, and after you've done the holier than thou shit and told everybody, ooh, that right there ain't good for you and all of that, and seen how much of an asshole you are, and just really be like, all right, well, let me just chill out because this is not really, it really doesn't mean anything. Hitler was a vegan, all right? Nobody touts that.
Really? Hitler was a vegan?
Hitler was a vegan.
Holy shit. You just converted like 30 people from not being a vegan.
All right,
dude.
but it's like, yo, if somebody's lifestyle gonna make, or what they eat is gonna determine how you live and yourself, then you need to figure out yourself. That's why I brought it back to myself. When I'm talking about being vegan, it's like, how is this affecting my health? How is this food affecting my health? Now, I could be a vegan and have beer and chips and peanut butter, and that shit will fuck up my system.
True, yeah, because you're not used to it.
And smoke a cigarette. Well, hey, man, I'm not on the fence about tobacco. I'm just saying it's not. I don't fall into what everybody say about that. You know?
But I get what you're saying. It's like you're vegetarian, like you're vegetarian or you're vegan just because it like reacts with your body. Like
you can actually. All right, this is why I started. I started when I started reading the Bible.
Okay.
And it said in Genesis.
I don't think that's in there, by the way.
Yeah, I shall give. It's in Genesis. I can't quote them right now.
Yeah,
I think it's 19, but I shall give for ye every herb and grass bearing seed shall be for ye as meat. Mm-hmm. It's saying like, all right, this is what we were originally supposed to eat, you know. And then when the children of Israel were in captivity, I mean not in captivity, but when they were in the wilderness, they was like hungry as shit, you know what I mean? And he gave manna for them, like, yo, just here goes some manna, and they was not satisfied with that. You know, you check it, and then he was like, all right, fine, you know.
All right.
Yeah, so then they started eating meat. So that's how I followed it. But I was like, yo, let me stick to the original.
That's interesting.
And
I don't remember that passage at all.
Oh, yeah, man. You can find that. I'll Google that. Somebody find that.
Are you talking like Christianity, Catholicism? Where are you coming from on that?
In the whole Judeo.
You come from the Judaism.
I mean, I'm in the Western world. So we come from the Judeo-Christian Abrahamic religion set. That's where we come from. And all three of them have Genesis in it.
True.
You know what I mean? So that's where we come from, Father Abraham. You know, that's where we
yeah, I mean, they all have, it's all their interpretation of the Bible. It's just, I think it kind of changes depending on where you are, depending on the interpretation.
I mean, it's such to where it's a history of a people from over such a time that you can find where they've gone through this, they've gone through that, they've gone through this, where this was wrong at this time, that was wrong at that time. You know what I mean? Most people take it out of the context and want to run with it as their religion or whatever they pushing on another person, as opposed to saying like, all right, where am I at in this Bible right now? I had to learn that from one of my elders.
So you're Christian? Do you consider yourself a Christian?
I would consider that. I would say that, you know, just on the, if I wouldn't, not necessarily Christian, but saying like, yo, if I'm a follower of Christ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most people would say Rastafari because in this time, the Christ presented itself in the form of Haile Selassie, who before he became emperor of Ethiopia was named Rastafari. So within that vein,
you're gonna have to educate me a little bit on that one because I haven't heard that.
Yeah. So
the Rastafari.
So Haile Selassie is the 225th descendant of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, and it's written in the Bible that out of the root of Jesse he shall sit upon the throne of David. So through that lineage, Haile Selassie fit that right there. You know what I mean?
So this is Rastafarianism.
Rastafari, yeah.
Oh, I don't know shit about that, man. Like anything you're saying, I'm like, I believe you. Is that what you practice?
That's where I live.
Oh, word. That's where you live. It's a part of life.
Yeah. I mean, like, so getting back to the veganism, within Rastafari, or in the Bible, you would see where there's a vow. It's called the vow of Nazarite, saying that as a vow of separation, you not cutting your hair, you're not trimming your beard, not marring off the sides of your beard or nothing like that, and you only following a certain diet. You ain't spilling no meat, spilling no blood. You just going on according to the ancient way. You know what I mean? And the vow of the Nazarite. Like Jesus was a Nazarite.
That's interesting. I've always thought that was super interesting. That like not cutting your hair. Like I always wondered what that symbolized. Like what?
Well, it symbolizes ultimately, like I said, a vow of separation. But it's like when you don't cut your hair, you actually receive a lot of energies. You know, you're more in tune. It's actually like an antenna.
Really?
Yeah.
In tune for like energy, or in tune for like messages,
energy, or what? In the various forms that energy comes in. So it could be thoughts, just what they call instinct. You know what I mean? Being able to listen to God better. You know,
Just like information.
Yeah. Right.
I feel that, dude. Shit, I've been trying to grow my antennas out for the past like 6 months, but I'm working on it.
All right, do that, right? No, seriously, do that, right? And then shave your head and see the difference.
I would just feel goofy if I just shaved my head. Like right now, if I shaved my head, I would feel so goofy. I'd feel like so insecure about myself.
Yeah.
That'd be weird.
That would be weird, and it is weird. I've done it before, and it's not a good thing.
How long is your hair?
It's long, probably about around my shoulder and shit.
Damn. Well, hold up. Let me intro this episode. I am sitting here with Omar, and Omar, this is like a follow-up interview. If you guys watched last week's episode or listened to it, with Ben Droz, aka the Hemp guy. Ben came in here and he was like over the moon about what happened in Congress and how for the first time liberals and Democrats agreed that cannabis was conservatives and liberals were finally in the middle about and saying that cannabis is no worse than more addictive than a cup of coffee, and that was all agreed on both sides.
Yeah, it was. And they agreed that legalization would be inevitable. There might have been an impasse, that's the word I was looking for earlier, as far as the social justice aspects of it and basically correcting the wrongs of the drug war and making sure that there's no barring of entry to people of color into entering the industry, you know.
From being a grower or a farmer or...
Well, it's to say that these grower, farmer, distributor, all the various aspects that that this whole industry can produce. It can produce a whole...
Any side of it, whether it's like...
Everything. But what I'm saying is like, okay, they're saying like if you have a felony, you can't participate in the industry.
Yeah, I remember him saying that was super weird.
Yeah, that's very weird. But that's them trying to keep out what they call the black market. You know, the black market is, well, happens to be black people. You know, you know.
That's an interesting way to phrase that one. I never heard
America,
that.
you know. But like Canada, what Canada did, Canada's whole legalization strategy was to eliminate their black market. Canada used to supply the East Coast and central states in the U.S.
Really?
With a good amount of the herb until, people started picking up and growing over here.
I always thought it came from Mexico.
Nah, that's the swag. That's the...
Yeah, I'm talking about that swag. Like,
you talking about like the higher buds. If you ever had, you remember BC bud?
Yeah.
That's BC. Came from BC. Kind bud.
British Columbia bud, yeah.
Yeah, all that shit. That was that BC. Most of it was a joint called Big Bud.
Dude, it's so crazy because, I've been smoking for cannabis for a long time, and it's like the market went from complete swag to just everything being amazing.
Yeah. That's why you had different suppliers, different ways of coming in. Before it had to be compressed and brought in. People bringing it from afar, shipping it.
Shit with the seeds in it, fat ass seeds.
And people developed. There's always been like a good quality bud out there being grown, but not en masse. And certain people were instrumental in making that happen.
Yeah, it was like you want your swag, your mids, or your heads. That was it for me.
Right. So like what Canada did before, Canada, their whole thing was to kill out their black market, and they don't source anything from any of their growers that are particularly growing, that have been growing for the longest time. They don't deal with them at all. So when Canada first legalized, they on the first day they sold out midday because they were only sourcing from certain corporate entities.
Oh, so you're saying, okay, I get. So when America in this instance, right? Because this is like the Canada example. When Canada did it, they made it so they could only get it from big business,
Right?
Which was all white owned.
Oh, of course. But Canada, I mean, Canada is like a white country to me, but I'm sure they got black people, but their white growers were outlawed. So they went from, if you got caught with a pound, you had to do 6 years in Canadian prison. The Mounties come down on you and do whatever they do. Now, after legalization, it's 14 years.
Whoa, what? You're
Yeah.
telling me in Canada, for growing, you could still go to jail for longer
If
now?
you get caught with a pound, if you just happen to come by me and you wind up with a pound somewhere along between me, you, and the sheriff, you know what I mean? The sheriff, or, well, not the sheriff, the mounted guy, whatever they call him. He gonna be like, nah, eh? Say,
Wait. If you had the pound, you'd be fine. But if you had the plate,
If
then
you
you'd
had
be
the
fine.
pound, you're not going to be fine. If you had the pound, it used to be 6 years that you would have to serve. Now, after legalization, you have to do 14 years.
Because
they doubled the amount.
Because they only want you getting it from their privatized dispensaries.
From their privatized dispensaries.
Okay.
So,
I get it.
Yeah, so like within the states now, if I was to, in talking about what the mayor has proposed, the mayor's proposing that only those people, if they've eliminated the loophole as far as being able to gift cannabis, the way how people have been doing the gifting thing.
In DC?
In DC, yeah.
But that's not a thing anymore.
No, I'm sorry. In the upcoming legislation that is
Okay.
proposed by the mayor, what her office put out, and
Yeah, that's the biggest loophole right now in DC.
yeah, it is, and that's why a lot of the whole pop-up culture has even it's founded in DC. It's spread up and down the East Coast and other places, but it's founded in DC.
Can you explain that? Because there might be people who are listening who aren't from DC who don't get how cannabis is legal in DC, but only if it's like a gift or something.
So people give away a gift, like if somebody was to, you would purchase this rock ashtray.
Mm-hmm.
They'll give you a free gift of cannabis, along with your rock ashtray.
Mm-hmm.
Ivory, like elephant tusk. Oh, we're gonna get in so much trouble. We got elephant tusk in the place.
This might get our bear carpet and elephant tusk. What else you got in here that's just gonna piss off every vegan listening?
Right.
This man got an eagle in the corner somewhere stuck.
Right. Yeah.
No, but that was the weirdest thing for me to get too, because when that thing first came into being, and I came to DC to pick up some stuff, the guy was explicitly saying, like, almost assuming that I was on a mic or something, like, just in case, like, this is a gift, right? Like, this is your donation.
Yeah.
And so it's just weird how something could be legal yet illegal if you do it a certain way.
Yeah, that's the world we live in.
Yeah, and that's like how DC is right now.
Yeah, so within that proposition, what the mayor is proposing is the ending of that, and only people associated with the cultivation centers would be then allowed to sell legally within DC. So you would have to have a cultivator with a cultivator's license, which they already have, dispensary with a dispensary license, which they already have. They have a new provision for a distributor license, which means you can basically you could transport from dispensary to cultivation center, or cultivation center to an end client, or something, a dispensary to an end client.
Okay, I can see that business.
Yeah, or which they already have in DC, but they're saying that these people that have these businesses now have to be associated with a dispensary and cultivation center, which is already owned by whoever owns them.
Oh.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So, my biggest concern with that is...
Amir, I'm gonna say right now, the mics can't pick you up if you're going to ask questions.
That's why it's a quick one. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
So, like, okay, so say for instance, the thing with the ATF, they got to tax you. You cannot sell alcohol. You cannot, do these
Right.
certain things. I think that the loophole was not just based on maybe trying to get people incarcerated. Of course, that's an element to it, but I think it's more so about the money of not being able to tax it. So if you're, say, for instance, you're trading me this for this, but the tax on this is different, I'm not getting my money. You know what I'm saying? So I need like, say for instance, if you're walking down the street and you got a box of cigarettes and you selling loosies, you sell them, the government ain't getting none of that money. You know what I'm saying? I think that's all they really want is their money. And
Well,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you got that element, which is that loophole wasn't necessarily for that. I mean, a lot of people, they love paying taxes. They are straight pay their taxes all day. That's what they do. They'll pay their taxes. They just itching to pay their taxes, But there was no provision in the law about taxing because the legalized sale wasn't permitted. It's just giving away, gifting.
Yeah.
You give it away, So in the common law, the whole gifting with the value of something else like that in any type of exchange for money, they got away with that. They done away with that.
Because when DC thought, and we're talking about the state of it right now, like when they made it legal but not legal to transact upon, it was because to cut down crime rate, right?
No, man. Come on. Are you crazy?
Well, no, but wouldn't it? Because you wouldn't be getting arrested for just having like not crime.
man.
Sorry, for people getting arrested. Like it would.
No, man.
What do you
I told
mean?
you earlier the arrest rate of young black people in the city went up or increased. Like it didn't change.
We said that off air. You got to explain
Yeah.
that again.
Oh, what I was saying is like, once legalization came and all of that, people were still getting arrested, but it was only black people in certain areas of the city. You know what I mean? Whereby the police are a force that's what they do. They arrest black people, so they find a reason to arrest black people, and they that's it. But what I'm saying is like they didn't make that legal for that. They basically, the people who constructed the law made it legal for possession and to grow. So which is where I come in. Which is from knowing how to grow. I help people grow within the city. You're allowed under the law for a 2-adult household to have 6 plants, 6 of which can be actually flowering. And that's what the law is. This upcoming legislation keeps that the same, but there's a cap on the amount of possession within a residence.
So basically, per household, you can have 6 plants, and 6 of those plants can produce bud.
Well, if you have a 2-adult household.
So if you have 1, is it 3?
If you have 1, then it would be 6 plants total, 3 of them flowering. And that's according to the letter of the law.
God, that's such like a nuance right there. Like 3. That's why. Why do you think they made it like that? Are they scared that people are going to grow too much?
I think it was arbitrary. Mm-hmm. And this is mind you, it was a citizen's proposition. So it wasn't like the mayor was like, yeah, let me make sure we get this herb shit straight and we're going to do it like this. No, it came from the citizenry.
What do you mean it came from the citizen?
Like a citizen's proposition. So it wasn't drafted by a lawmaker. By a legislator. It was drafted by...
I am so dumb when it comes to political stuff, so you have to explain this to me and to people listening.
There's a video. Shout out to my peoples that put me onto this video. It was, what's that? Confunction Junction.
Okay.
The law, how a law is made video and things like that. You should spice that in.
Holy crap. I can't because I'm going to get copyright. But The bill.
The bill.
Yeah.
The bill, yeah.
Oh, my God. Schoolhouse Rock. Yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock.
Holy shit.
Right. So you could watch that and they'll tell you how to do it. Like that's it right there. You know what I mean? So citizens can actually, petition the government to have a bill. Like they had a proposition in California, right? Yeah.
So you're saying the way it even happened in D.C. was a bunch of citizens came together for a bill and enough people came together and then it passed.
People voted on it.
People voted and it passed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I had no idea if it came from inside the government, but it would make sense.
How long you been in DC, man? Like,
I mean, I've been around this area for so long, but I'm not like the most astute political person.
oh man, that joint was big. That was the biggest shit ever. How long you been smoking weed? Like,
My whole life, dude. I grew up outside of DC, dude.
oh my goodness. We was like in like Northern Virginia or something.
Yeah, I was in Northern Virginia.
I was just saying. Like,
Guys, I'm in a room with two DC dudes who grew up
I'm
in
not
DC.
from DC though. I'm not from DC. So
Where are you
I'm
from?
from New York. I was born in New York.
Why are you laughing at me?
New
What you
York.
mean? Look, maybe I think
Nah.
you pay more attention to the political side of cannabis because you're involved with it.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, like, yo, certain things I know and you just, yeah, like I don't know. Like, that's what makes DC so cool. Like, you don't understand that? Like, yo, it's like, come on now. DC is the hottest shit right now just because of that.
Yeah,
You know
but
what
there's
I
still
mean?
gonna be little things that not everyone knows that you know.
All right. I mean, you never see, like, I don't know, because it's like cannabis is making big news all around the country. You know, like this state is doing this.
Yeah, I mean,
this one is doing
you
this.
you also got to realize
Yeah.
I'm asking some questions for people listening who might not know about this too.
Oh, okay.
Like
So
sometimes I'm asking you questions because like I know the answers to them, but if I just
Right.
assume all the answers and I don't like get your expertise on things,
I say.
then like it helps. Like when I'm asking you about like how a citizen writes it up, like I know a little bit, but I don't know everything. So
Right.
by me asking,
That video there is the spot on joint for that right there. So,
yeah, or like just like little policies and stuff in DC. It's like some things I might know, but I ask you because people listening may not be
right.
as
You
entrenched
coming
as
from the standpoint
yeah.
of the audience.
Yeah,
So-
well, yeah, like I'm curious as well. Sometimes I know that
yeah.
like
Right.
we know more about this than most people, so
Yeah.
general people won't get it.
Right. Okay, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit of like
yeah, that's a good clarity on that.
yeah. Sometimes it helps to play dumb when you're interviewing people.
Yeah, right.
But I can't let you
That's a good
think.
defense.
I can't let you think I'm actually dumb.
No. Right. Yeah. Let's mess with you there, though, Bruce.
Yeah, but no. So yeah, I mean that proposition is crazy. And the state of bud in DC is just like it's a wild west where it's legal but it's illegal. And this bill came along and it flipped it upside down. But you were saying something about because now that it's a neutral thing that not everyone like it might not move as fast.
It's not a hot button issue. That was I just read a article. It was saying basically that the main reason that legalization is a far ways off is because it's such an agreed upon thing. There's no political motivation for anyone to want to. Let me back it up.
Yeah,
There's no political motivation for lawyers, which is what most politicians are basically lawyers or some type of businessman that got into politics or whatever. And they receive money from various state and local law enforcement and correction agency lobbies. You check it. And their friends are lawyers and those type of things. Because it's not no real win for them. It's like, okay, this guy is for cannabis legalization. So is the guy that he's running against.
Yeah, it's like because it's so neutral, it doesn't put you as like this sort of hero in a sense,
Right.
or like I'm the guy for abortion. So if you agree with me, it's not as
Right, you're not a
polarizing.
champion of the thing. So he's like, nah. So if this guy happens to not be against pot and he's running, then people are like, well, whatever. Just
Yeah,
it's legal. It's going to be legal
yeah.
anyway.
If
so
if
whatever.
it's not like immigration
It's not one of the hot
abortion
button
or
ones that
yeah,
they have out there. So it's like the herb is so much agreed upon that people don't have it as a point of contention no more.
So what do you think is going to happen going forward as far as everything kind of coming into being? Or what do you think, how do you see this turning out?
I see in an ideal world, people would be able to grow all their own herb and, have access to their own, be sustainable. Yes.
You're killing me, Amir, dude. At this point, I'm going to start giving you a microphone or something.
Yeah, right.
Jesus. God damn.
I'm sorry.
Do you think that that should be also given to ex-felons as well who were
Yeah.
incarcerated for the sale of...
For the sale of cannabis. Yeah, man. Like, and the thing is, like, yo, that needs to be included. I feel that's gonna happen. You know, like just the erasure of those felonies, because for one, there's a need for a workforce within that. I also do workforce training, train people how to grow and, you know, basically
you're mentioning
getting
that.
people ready for entering the upcoming cannabis industry. you know?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, come on now. The cultivation centers and dispensaries within DC don't meet the demand. You check it? So if they're going to be the only ones that are allowed to legally sell, you got to open up like 18 more of them
That
in
will
order
create a
in
lot
order
of-
to get
yeah.
25% of the demand. You understand me? In order to get a quarter of the demand.
So when the floodgates open, we're not prepared, basically.
Nobody's prepared. Nobody's prepared, man. Nobody's
People,
prepared.
people just trying to smoke, man. We ain't growing it yet.
Yeah, of course.
So you teach people to grow, and you teach like the workforce training. It's all teaching people how to grow.
Yeah, it's teaching people how to grow, man.
Yeah.
The God-given right to interact with the earth.
Are they going to be growing it only in like giant centers, or do you think it's still going to be like okay for people to grow in their house?
People could grow in their houses now.
Yeah.
So that's still a continuing thing. I didn't see that stopping within this city. Nobody's gonna have that being taken away. I've even seen. I talked to police officers that say they'll go somewhere, they'll see some plants in the house, and they're just like they don't know what to do. They'll go somewhere and people are walking out with plants, and they're just like, okay.
Yeah, what are you going to do at that point?
Yeah, at that point, but it's like they're not hurting anybody, they're not harming anybody. They just how happened that they got plants, and there's no budget in there to go after people for plants, and anybody that puts any type of any politician that backs or says any shit like that, they're gonna be voted out quick. You know, the way how the herb is popular now, no.
Well,
Nobody want to hear
it just had me concerned because if they're going to make it so like no longer can you just give it away, it just made me think like, what's another way that you could make sure you get your money and get your taxes? You know, it was like, oh, it would be so you couldn't grow. I'm like, oh shit, that would suck.
Well, you could have people actually legally. You can't. All right, you talking about growing a plant within your house? Okay.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like right now you could grow kale in your backyard.
Yeah.
And just be like, yo, you want some kale? All right, cool. Let me give you $1 for that.
Dude,
Some whatever. Like you could actually do that legally.
Dude,
and have that transaction take place.
that's so true. I mean, where I live, we literally have an edible garden, and it's fucking amazing to walk out there and look at that. I would love to have one of those plants be a goddamn weed plant.
Right there, and it can be just in many a garden across the city. That's the reality.
So what's the best way to grow like weed? Like how do you like what's like?
Well,
how do
if you
train
want
people?
to, I think the most ultimately best way is a natural way of growing outside in the dirt, within the soil. You know, you could prepare that soil with a manner of organic nutrients, backguanos, various composted materials,
So that's
and things like that.
better in terms of quality grow outside than as like indoor hydroponic or anything
And
like that.
I'm gonna say quality, yes, because and many people are gonna have a discrepancy here. Quality because the angle of light or the light spectrum that we get from the sun is such to where it changes over the course of the day.
Yeah.
So during the sunrise, it's a reddish light spectrum, turns to orange. At around the 45-degree angle, it's bluish. When it's overhead directly, it's a white spectrum. And then it goes into the blue, orange, red, and going down like that. That has an effect on the plant because it affects not only the quality of the various different what they call terpenes that affect the flavor profile of the herb, but it also affects the various ratios of the cannabinoid, the CBD,
The cannabinoids?
actually the active
Yeah.
cannabinoids that influence how you feel the herb.
Oh,
You know?
dude, I never thought about it like that. The fact that
Right.
there's a color spectrum is actually very important
Right.
on the quality of your bud.
Right. So that in and of itself adds a larger flavor profile. However, now that's now talking of fresh herb that you harvest yourself, and then you dry it in to the best of your abilities. You make sure all the crystals are on there, and you make it good. Whereas outside, because of the rain and the wind, a lot of times crystals get knocked off of the bud or whatever, and it might not have as much as far as heavy hitting potency as it would be indoors, where all of those crystals are there and they're growing and they're all well preserved for the most part on the plant. So you have all in each and every bit of all that good.
It's like the outdoors is a more complex, deeper sort of.
It's a more complex, deeper array of various influences on the thing. So you get a much more not sharper, I would say a much more distinct flavor profile.
Oh, it's so crazy. No, you're 100% right, because when you grow it indoors under those lights, it's like a blue light from above. It doesn't hit it from the side or go around it.
It's either a blue light or an orangish light if you're using HPS, or a more whitish light if you're using CMHs. CMH is a ceramic metal halide where it has a greater spectrum of lighting in it. All these is like lighting technologies. LED lights have either the far red spectrum or the far blue spectrum. Most times people have both spectrums on it, so you might see a purplish light. And I'll all up and down the city, I drive by, I see a purple light. I'm looking like, yo,
is that what that is?
Something like that.
I was wondering what that is.
No, it's not. No, I'm not dry snitching on people. No, so.
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah,
never mind.
It's just a bunch of kids hanging out and getting some vibes.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. That's crazy. I would never have thought that photographers and people who grew weed had a lot in common. Dude, I look at light just as much. Like when I look at light, I'm like, yo, I want to shoot at 6:30 because the light starts going down. It becomes a little more yellow, a little more orange, and more red, and then you have like a weird blue hour after that.
Right.
Yeah, I 100% get it.
Yeah, so you could have different herb, or you could have the same plant actually, an actual clone of the plant. Clone is where you actually take a plant, cut it off, make a new plant out of the same thing. So they're genetically identical.
But it's not.
Excuse me.
Sorry. You go.
I was saying you could grow it under one light and get a certain flavor profile, taste, and effect, and then you could grow it under a different light and get a different flavor profile, taste, and effect. Just based off of that, just on the environment. And that's just only the light. Then you have the temperature and humidity and those other factors that go into it, to where it's been reported and even like it's proven. People that grow the same plant on various sides of a mountain it has a whole different range of flavors just because of that.
You're so right. I mean, I think people, like myself included, I always assumed that indoor was better because it just looked insane. Like it just looks like the High Times cover. Like it just looks like
you got some real good growers out there and breeders, and they're very good at what they do.
But the outdoor stuff won't necessarily come out looking like that. But you're saying,
not for the most part. You have some people that actually do. They'll take the time to cover their outdoor grow.
Oh shit!
And have it, make sure that it doesn't get anything hitting it, or they might have it inside a greenhouse, and get more of the crystals saved on it through that.
So what about the soil? Is just use like natural soil and stuff?
Use natural soil, amended soil. Is you can use various different mineral rocks to amend it. Various biological ingredients, crab shell. Most of this stuff is like recyclable stuff. What else? Crab shell, lobster shell.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know why
my shells right now, but yeah,
it's like the complete sort of diet for the plant nutrients coming from below,
like guanos and certain type of things. It's doing like an organic thing. So what you're doing when you putting those things in the soil, you're feeding the soil to create an active environment. And a lot of times people will inoculate the soil with various different what they call fungi that are referred to as mycorrhizae. Myco meaning fungi and rhizae meaning root. Oh, yeah. Myco meaning fungi, rhizo meaning root, mycorrhizae, bacterial inoculants that basically supply the microbes that break down the organic matter into usable components, usable chemical components that the plant can absorb. But because it's coming from an organic source, meaning it's a living source, it's the actual chemical is bound to an organic, what they call a chelation, chelate, meaning chelate comes from the Latin word chlor. It binds itself to this actual ion, like a metal ion or a actual what they call salt. It's in an organic state, so the plant is more able to take it up into itself. And
so like guano, like bat poop.
Yeah, bat poop, but the nitrogen from bat poop is eaten. It might be bound in the form of whatever long chain of bat poop. It gets broken down by a bacteria or by a fungi into the form of nitrogen, into the form of nitrate, which is basically an ion of nitrogen and hydrogen and oxygen.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on that. That is able to be uptaken by the plant. Now, you have nitrates that are created through chemical synthesis, whereby an acid is placed on a mineral or something like that, and then you have the raw salt, the raw element, which is what chemical fertilizers are made of, and that is like a more potent thing as far as the plant to take it up, but it won't have anything organic along with it.
So basically, you want
like
whatever you want down there, you just want it to be as organic as possible, like
you want it to be
as
as organic
alive,
as
and have
possible.
like you want like earthworms, you want bat poop,
earthworms, you want all of that going on. In there.
shells,
I went and got real technical in it, but what I'm saying.
No, I was listening to you because I mean, like, I think everyone who's ever smoked has at least thought about growing, and so you start looking it up. So I get a lot of what you're saying.
Right. So people would do that. Definitely, you do that outside. You have some of the best grows that you ever had. Now, growing indoors now, because you outdoors, you're limited to how the sun dictates. So during the spring, you're only getting about it's a higher ratio of nighttime to daytime. So the plant is gonna. It'll probably think that it's flowering, and you'll see it developing some buds.
So using like the DC context, like how much would 6 flowering plants get you? Like if I did that in my household, like how much would that yield? Like outdoors.
Man, let me tell you, man. I've seen. Shout out to the growers of DC, man. These some brothers I've seen grow like some huge ass plants.
Like how big?
Like big, like 18 feet tall plants.
What?
I kid you not.
That's a tree.
Bushes, trees. They grow in trees.
God damn.
You check it? Yeah.
Oh my God.
If that's how you doing, that's how you growing. If you staying on it and you actually making it work.
Is it good to make it that tall though?
Why not?
I don't know. I was assuming like the shorter made it like the fatter sort of different shapes of buds, like maybe it being too tall with like.
Well, because it's so tall, it's gonna have thick branches in order for it to maintain its structure. All right, here we go. When the plant is swaying in the breeze outdoors, the stem gets thicker as opposed to indoors. So if you ever had any type of herb that you see the stem and it's hollow on the inside, you seen a herb like that? It's growing inside. It hasn't had any swaying of it to allow for the plant to build up any cellulose in the stem,
like a muscle
to make it more
almost.
rigid. Yeah, like it hasn't been muscled. It hasn't been worked out. So there's no none of that is in there. But outdoors, that's why you have mostly bigger buds outdoors. Not only because of the intensity of the sun, but because it's on a stem that is swaying in the breeze and building up that cellulose on the inside. The cellulose being in there allows it to transport more nutrients up to the actual flower, and you get more denser buds in doing that.
Oh, okay. I guess I was assuming that maybe it would be like too skinny. Like the taller it got, the skinnier it got. I mean, what you're saying makes 100% sense. That's how freaking things grow. I get that.
Right. It's very it's a very durable plant, man. You can abuse that joint and it'll bounce back on you like what? I've had plants outside get attacked by deer. And it was like, yo, they just sprung back like, like, yo, they were like, I mean, like, yo, they were like actually pruned by the deer. So indoors now, I show people how you could prune your plant to get a wide coverage area, get one plant to cover a 4x4 area that would yield you a minimum of 1 pound.
Wow. And that's like a 4 or 5 foot plant maybe?
4x4. It doesn't have to
4x4.
be necessarily tall. It's more about the surface area of the plant.
So just how wide it is.
How wide it is, because the light is basically hitting on a two-dimensional level, whereby it's just coming from straight up, going straight down. So you want to have as much area for the plant to absorb as much light as possible. So the plant itself naturally is going to grow in like a Christmas tree type of formation, where the taller stem is, it's basically forming like a pyramid type of design or growth. But when you clip that one off, all the side branches then grow up, and you can have an even canopy.
Okay.
Where you're growing, where you have your buds all getting an even amount of light coverage, so that you have a lot of dense buds. There's ways that you can manipulate it they actually call it manifolding, where you actually form a actual physical manifold made out of stems, almost like a candlestick type of design, a menorah. If you can imagine a menorah, the Hanukkah menorah or the Kwanzaa menorah, or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, the central stem and it comes out.
Exactly, like that. Having something like that, and it has a even canopy, so even growth. So instead of having one large bud and smaller buds on the side, you have an equal amount of large buds.
Whoa! So manipulating the actual plant and the way it grows,
right,
to produce a certain thing.
Right. So that way you can maximize the amount of dried bud that you yield off of it.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So it's a good thing. It's very.
And so
very
one
good.
plant like that would get you how much?
Anywhere between 1 to 3 pounds, depending on your
What
growing
the
method.
fuck?
And
Bro, if I if I had 6 plants that were about to end of the season, about the harvest, and I had 6 that were flowered. If I was just to assume bare minimum 6 pounds, that's a lot for just a household. Holy shit!
I mean, don't you got friends?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of friends too, but like,
Okay,
damn, that's a lot of.
do they not deserve to share in the goodness of the herb? Like, come
Big
on, man.
facts, dude.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I definitely want to give
That's
my
what it's
friends some.
about.
I'd be like,
Yeah,
yo, dude,
come
check
on.
out what I'm growing,
You
man.
know they're gonna be over there. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, what you got growing? Like, yeah, it's gonna be a good thing, man. And what's gonna happen? Are y'all gonna get drunk not drunk? Are y'all gonna get into a fight or something like that? When your friends come over for the herb and y'all smoking herb or something, is that gonna happen?
Yeah, he's gonna get mad that I shorted him.
You gonna overdose and crash into a building or something like that? No, y'all gonna chill out. Y'all gonna relax. Y'all gonna build. Y'all gonna philosophize. Y'all gonna create. You gonna do everything that the herb do for you. You know what I mean? And so for you having your massive amount of herb and sharing it with your friends, you making the world a better place.
Yeah, I was thinking just like myself. I'm like, fuck, I could not smoke 6 pounds in one season. Like, holy shit.
Man, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Let your girlfriend break up with you and watch what happens.
Freaking hero, you do that shit. Oh my God.
Please.
Oh wow. So how crazy is business for you? For someone who's teaching like people how to grow, I imagine like it's getting pretty crazy. Like how is it right now in the DC, like the DC landscape?
Because I'm growing with people within their houses, I've been on a secretive type of thing, but I'm launching my website, urbanorganic.com. It's a guide with downloadable instructions on how to grow. I'm setting up classes on, like I said, workforce training.
Oh, nice. What was the name of the website again?
Urban Organic. Let me make sure I got that.
Urbandorganic.com?
Herb, HERBN.
Urbandorganic.com. Hey, I'll check it out, man. I'm sure people listening might be pretty interested in that too. If you're in DC, I guess, or anywhere else you can grow.
Oh yeah, anywhere you want to grow legally or otherwise. You got a God-given right to grow, man. And the main rule of growing, and this is why it's taken for myself being a grower from 1999. Is the main rule of growing is tell nobody. The second rule of growing is tell nobody. Because, just because of the drug war, a lot of people have lost their lives, their family, been incarcerated, just for growing a plant within their house. Mm-hmm. Just for that, just simple thing that didn't do no harm to anybody or anything, just for growing a plant in their house, they've, suffered a lot. And that sucks. But the website, yeah, HERBNORGANIC.com.
Urban or urban?
Urban, like a play on the word urban. Like
Oh
herb
shoot! Oh, you
and
messed me up.
organic. Yeah, let me put that up. Put that on camera.
Oh, dude. Well, yeah, I can see that. Oh,
Yeah.
herb, the letter N, organic.com.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. You just got the biggest plug on my show, too. Jesus.
Yeah.
But it took me a while to
Hey.
get it. It took me a while to get it
Yeah.
right. That's hella cool, man.
Yeah, man. They could call me directly at 404-418-2015.
Ooh, I don't know if you should put your number out on the internet.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't put my
I'll edit
number
that out
on
for
it.
you.
Edit that out, yeah.
I hope I remember
Yeah,
that one.
makes
Sorry if I
sense.
don't.
All right, cool.
But but this is sick, though. Hell yeah.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
cool, man.
All right. Yeah, so that's the main thing is helping people to grow. Like as far as all the laws and all of that, man, it's like, yo, you got this plant. It came from the earth, man.
Yeah, if I can grow tomatoes, I should be able to grow
Earth.
that.
Like, yo, like why this person gonna come interrupt that? And all they do is bring you joy.
That's so true. But some people think it's terrible. Some people think it's the devil's lettuce, dude.
The devil's lettuce.
Devil's fucking
Overdose
lettuce.
on the devil's lettuce, and what happened to you?
I don't know. Sometimes I've done edibles. I felt like I could have overdosed on the devil's
And then
lettuce.
what happened?
Shit.
You woke up later.
Yeah. You're just like, God dang. That was a
just
crazy nap,
It
dude.
was a crazy ass nap. You probably had one of the best naps of your life.
Yeah. Do you dream? Do you dream a lot?
Dream?
Yeah, because I noticed that as long as I've been smoking, I don't have really vivid dreams. But the times that I stop for like a week or a couple weeks or a month, something like that, my dreams come back.
I don't know.
Like the frequency of them.
I have dreams, but I think a lot of times, especially when I'm smoking, I think I'm just receiving other things that's going on. I do have dreams, but it's I would say visions, man.
Damn, really?
Yeah, because it's like a lot of times it come true. I see it, so I think it's just I would call it like clairvoyance or something like that. You know what I mean? But
Like that weird effect, how if you do something and then you sleep on it, you're better at it.
I think that all of those things is you just being in tune with the Almighty, and you just allowed to receive the message. The message is out there. It's being spoken to you. You just got to be able to receive it. So that's what I think. So
Hell yeah. Well,
Yeah.
dude, is there anything else in the cannabis world that we all need to know about?
CBDs.
Oh,
there's a
dude.
large,
That market is
large-
coming back, man.
Yeah, large.
Or it's coming in.
It's coming in. It's coming in. It's more palatable, I guess.
I had a guy
legally.
on here. His thing that he's so hyped about is his investments into the CBD industry around here.
Mm-hmm. So it's on every corner now. You could get CBD flower, CBD gummies, CBD. So it's basically hemp that has less than 0.3% THC in it. Or cannabis that has less than 0.3%.
I don't know.
THC.
I don't know if I believe that the CBD bud though. Like I don't know if I believe that because I've tried that once and I definitely felt baked. I was messed up.
Well, my company, Urban Organic, we have access to CBD that's tested, has a certificate of analysis, basically, along with it to say that it's tested. And you can't really get caught without that certificate. And it has to follow it wherever it goes. So other than that, if it looks the same as really any other herb, so
God, dude, the world's gonna be such a crazy place, dude. Like, just all this bullshit over cannabis when now people can grow. Like your aspect, like Ben's whole approach, his aspect was how hemp can save the environment, and then now it's like CBDs, like curing people. Like, there's so many crazy like industries opening up from this one fucking thing happening.
in Revelations it talked about the plant I saw in the river, and in the midst of it on both sides, the tree of life. And it bore 12 manner of fruit, and the leaves of the plant were for the healing of the nations. So you could get 12 manner of things, all just from herb. So you could get an industrial portion whereby you'll get oil from the seeds, animal feed, protein from the seeds. You get from the leaves, you could get CBD. From the stalk, you could get fibers, paper. You could make paints with it.
Yeah.
What do people paint on?
Canvas.
Canvas, right? Where'd that come from?
That comes from cannabis.
Because it was originally cannabis.
Yeah.
So canvas was cannabis. Because you know how like in Spanish, the B is interchangeable with the V. Like Spanish and Latin American Spanish, they interchange their B's with their V's. So canvas, basically.
Oh, that's a little slick kind of play on letters right there. Holy shit.
Yeah, etymology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, it's pretty limitless. Like the whole idea that the cotton industry tried to ruin hemp, like that's insane too.
Oh, word?
I mean, Ben was telling some crazy shit, man.
Oh,
He
word?
was saying that when hemp was being, hemp was basically demonized by people smoking it, right? That's how they did it, right? Like that's this is from Ben just saying it like I'm completely wrong.
No, I've never heard this aspect of it. Which could, you schooling me. Let me know.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Basically, hemp was a competitor with cotton, and because of that, they wanted to eliminate it because the cotton industry was so strong. So because of that, they were trying to figure out a way to do it, and they came upon people smoking it, especially the Mexicans coming up and smoking it, and they used that as kind of like the poster child and saying it made you crazy. All that propaganda happened, and boom, cannabis was illegal.
Okay. I'm also familiar, and I would add to that you had, that was also the time when nylon and certain oil-derived products were coming online with the advent of more uses being found for petroleum.
Mm-hmm.
So certain families like the DuPonts, the Brown Harrimans and Roots, and certain those families that still interchange, and basically is a tribe that basically sits. They're prominent in America, as you were saying today. Their interest, because they were introducing those type of fabrics, nylons and the like, they played a part in the criminalization of that. They were one of the lobbies that helped this guy named Harry Anslinger. Did Ben mention that guy? He was a guy that he basically pushed, like how Ben was saying, the Mexican and blacks, that racist aspect of the cannabis. What would you call it? Whatever he was doing, the lobbying or petitioning the government to say that it was evil. The campaign against the cannabis was put with a Mexican and black face on it, saying that herb made black men want to rape white women and certain shit like that. You know what I mean? So that helped along with that. And Anslinger at the time himself had a push for drug testing. He had a drug testing company. He's still one of the biggest drug testing companies today. And George Bush's grandfather was also had a stake in that, along with the DuPonts. In so like I said, their fabric, they was making nylon and all these other fabrics, whereby you gotta know that cotton has been since forever.
Yeah, cotton's been around for
Just like hemp has been since around forever, and they've been coexisting even in these United States up until that time, up until that 1930 time. And it's from what I've learned from this book called The Emperor Wears No Clothes by this guy named Jack Heroy. They got a strain of herb named after him, but that's like one of the best books you got to pick up on.
I know who Jack Heroy is, 100%, yeah.
He talks about that, how the certain lobbies, the alcohol lobby, because mind you, that was a time when prohibition was ending and you had large alcohol companies that were now friendly with the government. Yeah. They wanted it illegal. The law lobby, the corrections lobby, well, I guess that later on, just through the demonization of it, they came online.
You said petroleum wanted it illegal?
Petroleum, yeah,
really?
Because it was also being used. Henry Ford, right? Henry Ford and George Washington Carver, they, mind you, George Washington Carver, right? He was somebody that was so in tune with plants, right? He showed Henry Ford, and you could look this up, how to make the industrial line, the in line, based on a plant, based on how plants gather raw materials from their root, which is what happened, the assembly line, that's what it was called. Raw materials from their root, and then it comes and combines those raw materials into chemicals that it then processes on down the line from the root, going on up the stem until it has the final output at the flower or the fruit or something like that. You know what I mean? And
Oh, it's so intuitive.
yeah, man, that was George Washington Carver all day. So he helped Henry Ford with the assembly line, and he also helped Henry Ford with the because mind you, George Washington Carver was a bad dude in his day, man.
Yeah.
He they made a Model T, right? They
Yeah.
had a Model T that was made out of all plant material, as much as they could.
Okay. Yeah.
And it ran off of alcohol hemp oil mixture. The body of it was made out of a soy hemp oil type of polymer that was developed by George Washington Carver.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? And they had that joint rocking, but the people at the country club wasn't feeling Ford, and they was like, yeah, whatever with all that, we moving forward with this oil that we got popping, because they found, you know, they were making more uses of it, and plastic is in everything. Oil products are in everything that we're.
I had no idea that Carver
interacting
was
with.
such an influence in the Ford Industries
yeah,
and
man.
the invention of the car.
Yeah,
That's
man.
it. That's
Man. Assembly line. That's what put Ford ahead.
That's nuts. So because he basically showed some sort of fuel, because the prominent fuel, I guess, at that point was like coal and oil, stuff like that. They essentially were like, whoa, Carver has got to chill. And so that's why they are against illegitimizing cannabis.
Well, it can also be used as another fuel, as another oil, because mind you, all the oils, a full range of oils come off of petroleum.
That's true.
You got everything from what's that? Hair grease, that Jackson, all that shit.
Castor oil?
Yeah, not castor oil. That's one plant.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
It just sounds like it might come from like
it
something
comes from
like
rape seed. So, okay.
grape seed.
rape, like rape.
Oh, whoa! I never heard of this
like
seed before.
Harvey Weinstein rape seed.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't call it rape oil. That'd been bad.
Yeah, somebody might have used it for that. Right?
Well, you have grape oil, you have olive oil.
Yeah, that's where castor oil comes from. But castor oil was also used to make Agent Orange too. So
Okay, so that makes sense why petroleum is against hemp.
yeah, because of that, because it came to replace it. It came to replace nylon was replacing hemp as a clothing material. Like I said, cotton was before petroleum and after petroleum. Cotton existed millions of years alongside hemp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just straight, broop, they doing their thing together. Oh. You know what I mean? It was really the petroleum industry. They had a conglomerate, man. These people was like, yo, you my family. We go to school together. We gonna look out for each other.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody else. You know what I mean? They came together and said like, yo, all right, we got this thing right here. We can make this. You can make this money in the fabric joints right here. You can make this money in the fuel right here. You can make the money in the plastics right here. You know what I mean? And that's what they did. They all making it off of the oil. So oil is not just oil.
Mm-hmm.
Oil is everything. Oil is plastic now. It's your lighter. It's your, you know what I mean? It's your clothes. It's all everything. All of this used to be hemp though, or has the potential to be hemp right now. You know, so industrial hemp, like industrial when it pop off, industrial is what's under the iceberg.
What's like an example of industrial hemp?
Industrial hemp is concrete fortified with hemp.
Whoa.
That's industrial.
And that's proven to be better than what we already
It's proven
have.
to be stronger than conventional.
Oh, I didn't know that. So like maybe like building beams with hemp infused.
Beams, whatever you want. Everything that we see around us that's made out of concrete. All these bricks and all that. With hemp infused with it. Not only would it save on other building materials that would have been used in place, it's going to be a more stronger material. That right there in and of itself is like, that's...
Whoa, I had no idea it could be used like that.
Yeah, just that use right there. Instead of using rebar to enforce concrete like that, you could use hemp, just straight hemp fibers, because they'll still hold their rigidity and it won't rust under any water condition. That's just that right there. That's two uses right there.
Whoa.
Then you have lubricating oils that could be made off of that. You know what I mean? Just off of the seed. That's a use right there. Other, well, let me see.
Dude, you blew
paints.
you blew my mind with the George Washington Carver thing and Henry Ford. I had no idea that he was that influential in that regard. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
he was the man.
going to school, you're just trained. Oh, he just made peanut butter, bro. But like, after talking to you in bed, I'm like, whoa, George Washington Carver was a badass.
Yeah, he was the man.
This man was ahead of his time.
Yep. Yep. He was way ahead of his time. So they did that. And all of that, the plastics, just the plastics in and of itself. If we want to say, we want to get rid of petroleum, then we could do it without skipping a beat. Make it out of hemp oil.
So steel, oil, everyone who's a part of everything hated hemp. And that's why it was legal. Bruh.
Yeah, so that's part of it.
That's pretty crazy.
And then, people communing with God with it and all of that. So
okay.
like that.
You're very religious with your cannabis.
You think it's religious? I live with it.
Spiritual. I don't know about the right term.
Yeah, I mean, you can call it whatever. I live with it though. So it's a part of my life.
Word.
Part of my life. Now it's not my life. You know what I mean? By no means. My life is greater than that. You know what I mean? It's not like what they call culture is not like solely on the herb. Like smoking herb does not a Rasta make. You know what I mean? Or, it's not just about that in the least bit. But
I don't think that, by the way.
No. I'm just saying. I'm clarifying for the audience. I'm playing dumb now.
Yeah.
I'm not playing dumb. Yeah. All that.
Word.
Some of that. I know all of that.
Well, Omar, man, I really appreciate you coming on the show, dude.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me again. Shout out to the website. Shout out to the urbanorganic.com. All right. And
Wait, say it again slower.
urbanorganic.com.
Boom. Check that out if you want to grow. This guy knows what he's talking about. Yeah, you blew my mind today, man.
Grow in
Thank
the
you.
city, man. Grow. The earth is the plug.
Put that on a shirt.
Well, God is the
Sick.
plug. Put that on a shirt, right? I'm copywriting that. Hereby said it on my. It's published. I'm copywriting that.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. That's it. That's the angle. Peace.